Hey Tooth Fairy, welcome to today's episode where I hope I'm not a little crazy because I have not eaten breakfast, full disclosure, and I have had coffee, which is kind of naughty, but my podcast editor is like, where's your episode? So I'm like, you know what? I know what I want to talk about. Let's crank it out. So that being said, today, actually what we're going to talk about is my top 5 fitness myths. But the reason I want to talk about this is because I recently recorded a podcast with Stephanie Botts, Polished Posture, whom I love, and she would ask me these things and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, do people actually still think this? So this is what prompted this episode. So make sure you listen to the whole episode because I am going to be giving away a freebie at the end that's going to help you with one of these myths. So here we go.
Hey there! Welcome to the Lift for Longevity podcast, where our goal is to build our strongest, healthiest body. We all deserve to feel our best, but since we only get one body, we have to make sure to protect it by moving safely and with purpose to prevent pain, injury, and surgery. I'm your host, Brianne, and I'm a fit pro turned business owner and also a girl mom. I'm obsessed with educating and empowering dental pros on how to take care of their body by training efficiently and building the right muscles to prolong their career. I know you're tired of spending time working out but still dealing with annoying aches and pains, getting rid of your pain temporarily only to have it come right back just a few hours later, or feeling like you never have any energy. You wish there was a long-term solution to get rid of your pain for good. Well, I'm here to give you real-life, actionable steps that you can take today to get rid of your pain, say goodbye to quick fixes, and have energy to live a life that you love. So if you're ready to get stronger, enjoy your life outside the operatory, and have longevity in your career, grab yourself a high-protein snack and let's get to it.
Okay, so I'm going to dive right in because I feel like with all 5 tips, I might chat probably more lengthy than I would like to. But the first myth, it's kind of twofold. So, and I've heard this over my fitness career for so many years, like, I just want to lose, or I want to tone up my arms, right? I want to lose this jiggle in my triceps, right? Or my belly fat. Okay, great. Well, guess what? You can't spot reduce. You can't just lose fat in one area of your body. It doesn't work like that, right? When people have severe drastic weight loss, they lose fat everywhere, right? Or if you're building muscle, right? You're leaning out everywhere. So it's just basically like you have to build muscle in order to lose fat. The more muscle you have, the less fat you have. That's just science. That's just how our body works. So, you could do tricep exercises all day long. It's not going to do shit. You can do crunches all day long. It's not going to do shit, right? So yes, part of it's working out, but part of it's diet. But the other part of this is, well, you can't just work one area and like lose fat in one area. You also can't just strengthen one area of your body. And I hear this all the time and it's like nails on a chalkboard to me. I need to strengthen my back. I need to strengthen my back. And I think the reason that it really bothers me is because you're getting this information typically from a practitioner, which blows my fucking mind. But without ranting too much, you can't just strengthen one area of your body. Why is your back weak? Your back is weak because you have poor posture. You have rounded shoulders, right? Your anterior rib cage is compressed, which is going to jack up your whole body, right? Which is going to affect your pelvis. So I'm not even going to go into this can of worms. This is probably a different topic for a different day, but this is similar to like, well, I have low back pain. So I just, I need to strengthen my core. That doesn't make sense. Like, your core is weak for a reason. Your core is weak because your rib cage and your pelvis are not aligned optimally. This is 100% why I see hygienists having pain all day long, is their foundation is broken. So without going on too much further, that is the number 1 myth, is you can't spot reduce, you can't lose fat in one area, and you can't just strengthen one area of your body. Okay, number 2, and actually this one I got from Stephanie Botts, and it just cracks me up every time I hear this. Like, lifting makes you bulky. Okay, just to like demystify this, we don't have enough testosterone in our body to get bulky. There's a reason that men put on muscle quicker, right? Unless you're taking performance enhancement drugs, which a lot of women do, like if you see CrossFitters in competitions or, bodybuilders or, there's women who do that. But at the end of the day, like physically, we don't have enough testosterone to build muscle to get bulky, but the women that you see too that are pretty jacked, like they are lifting heavy as fuck. They are eating in a surplus. They're probably eating 2,500 calories, if not more, right? You have to eat more to gain muscle. Nobody listening to this is eating that much. They're not eating enough in general, and they're not definitely eating enough in a surplus to build muscle in that aspect. So That's my number 2 tip is you're not going to get bulky when you're lifting or strength training a couple days a week. So just get that out of your head. Okay, number 3, cardio will tone you. Okay, do you ever look at a marathoner? They're so lean, they have like no muscle. That's what a typical body type of like a cardio junkie is. Or I use that term, but like, I just can't get that term out of my head. Cardio junkie, that's just what I call them. So forgive me in advance. I'm not saying, it's a bad thing. It's just a term that I've always used. People will call me a meathead, right? Same shit. So basically cardio, you're doing repetitive motion. So your body's doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over. It's more of like an endurance activity. So in order to build muscle, you have to adapt. Your body has to adapt to additional stressors, right? So if you're doing the same thing all the time, right, that's why you plateau. Like, oh, well, I do cardio all the time, but like I don't see any results. Well, no kidding, because your body is it's doing the same thing. It's not challenged. There's no stimulus that it has to adapt to. So, and if you see like, oh, well, look at the Olympic sprinters. They have like strong ass quads. Well, yeah, A, they're Olympics, so like they're a different breed, but 2, they are definitely strength training. Like athletes strength train to supplement, for their sport. And B, or that would be 3 actually, they have a lot more fast twitch muscle fibers than we do because they sprint and they're so explosive. So that's like totally, not on the topic that we're talking about, but they're in a different category, right? The bottom line is this: if you want to tone up, you need to strength train, you need to lift weights, you need to do resistance training. I don't know how else to put it to you. You're not going to tone up by doing cardio. You're just not. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. So that's myth number 3. Okay. Myth number 4 is crunches and sit-ups give you abs. Okay, so when I talk about abs, there's like 6-pack abs, which are like your transverse abdominis, the ones that you can see on the front of, some jacked dude, right, or female. But like we need to strengthen our core, we need to strengthen the core as a 360 degrees. Like, so there's so many muscles in your core. Like, yes, the transverse abdominis are part of it, but that's all you see. There's internal obliques, external obliques, on the posterior erector spinae. Pelvic floor is actually part of your core, your diaphragm, glutes. People don't know that. And then a little bit up top, not exactly low back, but like a little bit higher is your QL. Like there's so many muscles we need to work to strengthen our core, and I have a whole different episode on core where we talk about anti-extension, anti-flexion, anti-lateral rotation, right? These are all the different planes that we have to work in to actually strengthen a core. And so I do have a freebie on this I'm going to be attaching here. It's my top exercises to strengthen your core. So these are great exercises, but at the end of the day, we have to make sure that we're aligning our rib cage and our pelvis so everything is neutral, working together so that we can have a strong core. So this is a great starting point, but if you have a lot of, even MSDs, muscle imbalances, pain, like there's something more going on and we really need to dive into what it is. Okay, but that's number 4, crunches and sit-ups don't give you abs. And actually, fun fact, not so fun fact, I can't stand these exercises for hygienists because I see people, it's so much on your neck and your head and it's like more flexion, flexion, flexion. Okay, you don't need any more flexion. You're in flexion all day long, every day at work. So like crunches and abs are the worst, actually, crunches and sit-ups and like bicycle crunches. These are the worst things that you can be doing as a hygienist. Even leg lifts, right? A lot of hygienists have like low back issues. And so those are really horrible for your bad back. So anyways, get your freebie. Let me know what questions you have on core because like this is one of my favorite topics to talk about, but I'm going to stop talking about that now because I'm just going on and on and on and on. And then number 5, working out more will give you more results. Oh my gosh. Like this is the one thing that I wish every single hygienist would get out of their head. Like, oh, I only work out 3 days a week. 3 days is great. That's perfect. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Well, maybe I should work 6 or 7. Abso-fucking-lutely not. Like, and I will tell you, I know this from firsthand experience personally because back in the day, I wasn't working out to get more results. I was just addicted and I was obsessed and I would work out 7 days a week, sometimes twice a day. And I was so tiny. I had like no muscle. Okay, cool. That's not sustainable for anybody unless you're crazy, and I was. So now that I've learned over the years, less is more. And this is one thing I talked about in one of the things I would change if I were to start my fitness journey over. Like 4 days to me is perfect. Not everybody can do 4 days. So like if 3 is your jam, that's fine. But when we are trying to build muscle to get that lean, toned, defined look, right? We need to rest and recover to repair our muscle tissue. So the more that you're working out, your body doesn't have time to rest, to recover, to repair, and you're overtraining and you're going to most likely get injured. So And not only that, is exercise is a stressor, right? It's a lot on our body, on our nervous system. And, when you're stressed at work all day and you're having pain, like kind of like you're already in like a fight or flight, like we need to just slow and controlled. Less is more. Trust me, I went to 4 days a week and I put on so much fucking muscle as opposed to doing 6 or 7 days a week. And I've shared my before and after photos, and I'll share them again because it's the fucking truth. So, and I know it's hard for a hygienist to kind of conceptualize this because at work it's always like more is better, more is better. But like, think about it. Does that even make sense? Because do you want me to floss 7 times a day? You know what I mean? And I know it's like probably a stupid analogy, but like, no, like morning and night is fine. Or do I need to brush my teeth 10 times a day because I want to have healthy teeth? Like, no. So it's the same thing. So, I don't know how else to explain it to you, but like less is more. And I promise you, I will guarantee you $1 million that if you work out less, you will see more results. So that is all I have for you today. Don't forget to grab your free copy of my Core Builder Guide below in the show notes and let me know how it goes. Have a good day.
Thank you so much for listening in today. I hope you got a takeaway from this episode. And if you did, would you be so kind to share it with another dental pro you think would benefit from it? I know you love learning, and chances are that they do too. Also, I would love to connect with you on Instagram, so go ahead and head over to the Lift for Longevity podcast page or follow me at Built by Brianne. If you shoot me a message saying hello, I will personally respond because I love chatting with dental pros. Before you go though, I want to let you know that I appreciate you and what you do, and I hope to chat soon. Until next time, stay strong.